George W. Biggs was one of the last living Tuskegee Airmen. The American hero died on September 19th. The man so many look to as a hero is known to one Terre Haute woman as Uncle George. News 10's Richard Solomon spoke with Biggs' niece. He shares more on the legacy her Uncle George left behind.
A great picture. I always thought my uncles were so handsome. And
as you look through these pictures, you can tell Veronica Rogers comes from a military family.
The military was our life. They were kind and they were loving and they demanded respect.
This, a picture of her grandfather Levi, a Buffalo soldier, and her son Travis, who's currently in the Air Force. But this picture of her Uncle George holds a special place in her heart.
This is the last picture I took with him.
George W. Biggs recently died at 95, but it wasn't until after his death Rogers started to realize the legacy her uncle created.
My sister said, Google him. He's famous. I Googled him and I was blown away.
She saw George W. Biggs, one of the last living Tuskegee Airmen, on headlines after headlines.
I didn't realize what a national hero he was. Because again, he was my hero, but it was because he was my uncle.
Biggs joined the U.S. Army Air Corps in 1943. Rogers says he wanted to fight rather than be a cook. So he was placed in the Tuskegee Institute, where he would eventually fight as a Tuskegee Airman. He flew in World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam War.
I'm in awe of it. Because I knew him personally, and I kind of wish that everybody else got to know him as personal as I did.
And to remember this hero, Congress will honor his legacy this week in Arizona. Rogers says her uncle cherished every breath he took, down to his last.
I'm not afraid to die, he says, because when you're facing death every day in a war and you live through it, you have everything to live for.
Reporting in Terre Haute, Richard Solomon, News 10.
The special service is happening Friday. Rogers says this is a huge honor and she's proud of her uncle.